Hi, welcome to Caribou Country Lifestyle. My name is Cheryl. We are going to be starting some more seeds. These are seeds that are not just vegetables, but I'm also doing some flowers as well. I have my tray all ready. I have my tags all set up. I've already went over how I needed to get these seeds ready, and I've put down a few notes because some of the seeds have certain requirements when you're starting them. So I'm going to be starting with spearmint. I usually buy my spearmint because I only get one plant. So I want to try some of the spearmint seeds. These ones, they only need to be planted 1/8 of an inch deep. So I'm just very tiny seeds. You only need a couple of seeds in each spot. I'm not exactly sure how many I have between my fingers. And I've already pre-measured the depth of the hole, as they only needed 1/8 of an inch. Put that over. All of these seeds that I'm planting in this tray are going to require bottom heat, and this is why I had to get everything organized as far as where I was putting what and what that was going to look like. My next one is geraniums. And geraniums are also ones that only need 1/8 of an inch deep. And these are actually have the coating on them. And that is just like a clay coating on the seeds. These geraniums are the Maverick mixed geranium. And I'm just couple of the cells, I have put 2 divots in the soil, and I will be planting 2 seeds in those two pots, just so that I can get all of these planted. Okay, so I have one in the front and one in the back. And for some reason, I'm missing my 2 holes here. I don't understand. I thought I had made those, but I'll just cover these up with geraniums. They actually take 7 to 21 days to germinate, and they do need bottom heat, but they also need total darkness to sprout. So what I end up doing is I end up putting a cover over, I'll just have a cover over these 2 trays. And what I might do is I might actually move it so it's on the end. So we'll just slide this one over and this one as well. And that way, all I have to do is just cover these 2 back ones. These 2 on the side, I should say. Lemongrass. This is one I have not been able to get started. And the problem is, I don't have anything in my growing guides that tells me this is what you need to do, this is what it's going to look like. So I'm not sure if it needs bottom heat. I don't know if the seeds need to be on the top. I don't know how deep to plant the seeds. So I'm just going to try it again and see how it goes. What I will do, one thing that I'm going to do is once it sprouts, Then I am going to put some vermiculite around it, and that'll help it from any damping off, which would affect the plant if I was to have things be too moist. But I am going to put them on heat because I am doing the Columbines next. These ones just need to go on the surface of the soil, and I'm doing two different kinds. I have the Aquilegia, and these are the Barlow's double mix colors. So we'll start with this one first, and I'll just put a couple of seeds on top of the soil in each spot. And then, like, I'm putting probably 2 or 3 seeds in each spot, and then I'll just pick, either I'll pick the strongest one, or I will transfer the little seedlings into their own separate pots. If there's more than one that come up, then I can transfer it out and get more plants out of the deal. And then these are the Barlow's doubles mix colors, and they kind of have a ruffled flower edge to them. I think they're super cute. So I'll put 3 in each spot, and we'll see what we get. I love Columbines, and once these get going, they are a perennial, so they will come back. My asparagus. With the asparagus, oh no, the last one will not be the asparagus because I have lavender to do after this one. With the asparagus, I had to soak the seeds for 2 hours. Okay, I ended up putting the seeds onto some paper towel because with them being wet and my finger being wet, the seed did not want to come off of my finger, so I just took them out of that little dish, put them on some paper towel, and this is making it a heck of a lot easier. Put 1 seed per pot and 1/4 of an inch deep, and it takes anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks for the seeds to germinate. That's quite a long time, hence the reason why I'm starting these seeds. So I'll just cover these up. I've been reading up on ways to be successful with doing lavender. Just pressing the seeds to the surface of the soil. And I'll just grab like 3, I guess, in each spot. And then it just said to press them into the soil, just so that they make contact in the soil. So insert this pot. I'm actually taking it out, and I'm going to be putting it into a plastic bag. And I'm going to put a little clip on the bag. And then I'm going to be putting this pot into my freezer. I'll be putting this, I don't know, as weird as this sounds, I've never done this before to any of my seeds that I've ever started. So I'm just trying to figure out a way. I wrote this information down out of the West Coast Seed Planting Guide, and this is basically what it says. Put it in your freezer for 2 to 7 days. Then I'm going to bring it out of the freezer. I'll just let it thaw out all on its own, and then I'm going to bring it back down here, put it back in the tray, over the heat mat, under the lights, and we'll see what happens. It also says if germination is low after 3 to 4 weeks, lower the temperature for 2 weeks and then raise it again. So I would take it out of this tray, put it into another, just a dish, and take it off of the heat, which would lower the temperature for 2 weeks, and then I'll put it back in the tray under the lights on the heat mat. So these ones that I've planted so far, these are all going under my lights and on a heat mat that I've already have set up. I've got this all set up, all my tags in it. The first one that we will be doing is the Shallots. It's the Ambition Shallots, and in these I'm going to do 8 pots shallots. I'm going to be putting 2 seeds in each planting spot, and I decided to start them now because since they're like an onion and I already started all my onions, I figured, well, I will start these as well. In this tray, I don't need to worry about any bottom heat for any of these seeds that I'm going to be starting, so they will just strictly be under the lights. The lemon balm. With the lemon balm, you don't want to put them to any depth. They don't need to be, seeds do not need to be covered at all. I'll put about 3 seeds in each spot on the top. And then what I'll do is I'll just kind of press them into the ground, kind of like what I did with lavender, just so they make a connection to the soil. Some rosemary. But germination is slow. It can take anywhere from 14 to 21 days. And I am just going to put 2 seeds in each spot. And okay, I should cover those up. Next, I'm going to start thyme. And with these types of herbs that I'm doing, like especially the rosemary, the thyme, the mint, those are all on like a woody stem. And that's another reason why you want to be starting these a little bit sooner. This is another one that you're not going to be covering the seeds. I'm just going to be putting them on top, really small, the super fine seeds. So that would be the reason why we're not going to cover them. And I'm just going to sprinkle a few on the top of the soil. They're so tiny, I don't even know how many seeds I'm getting on here. Once the seeds germinate, then I'm going to sprinkle them with some vermiculite as well and see if that helps with a better success rate for the seeds. That way there, again, is no damping off on them. Is dahlias. I love dahlias. These ones are a dwarf mixed color. So, and again, we are going to barely cover the seeds. And that's got those right here. I'm going to put 2 seeds in each spot. My poor husband, well, my poor mother-in-law, Jamie just got a call from the seniors village where it's an extended care home where my mother-in-law is. She has quite bad dementia, and this week she has fallen 3 times in just this week. And he just got a call saying she fell again, and this time she's broke her hip. I'm like, this poor lady. And of course, You know, she doesn't want you doing anything to her because she doesn't know who you are. They've had a hard time even just taking her blood pressure, getting any, even with all the other falls. They ended up doing a few tests just to make sure that she didn't have a urinary tract infection. And we were wondering even how that would go because she doesn't let them do anything to her. So after the dahlias, we are going to plant celery. I love celery. Oh my gosh. The second year I did celery was my best year. But the first year, my problem was I didn't water it enough. And with celery, you need to water it. And I didn't make any divots in the celery. I'm going to be putting 3 seeds in each hole, and either I can stick with the strongest one and take the other 2 out, or I can separate them and up pot all of them. Now celery is a fine seed, not quite as fine as some of the other ones that I've, just make sure I'm in the right, oh, this is pretty fine. So I don't even know, I'm just trying not to grab too many seeds, kind of shake them around so that I can separate them a little bit so I'm not grabbing too many. My husband is heading to the hospital to go see his mom. It's no fun getting old. Okay, leeks, 10 to 14 days to sprout, and I'm going to be planting them 1/4 of an inch deep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting 2 holes in each pot, and I'm going to put 1 seed in each hole. My leeks did quite well last year. They just seem to keep doing better each year that I grow them. I do a few different implements on how I grow my leeks. I just forgot to cover up my celery. So, okay, I've got the foxglove planted, and I don't really have a lot of direction on foxglove neither, as far as how deep to plant it, and whether it needs heat, whether it needs cold, darkness. I don't know. I planted it 2 years ago and it did well, but then it was supposed to come back the following spring and then it didn't. So let's go put these under the lights. Okay, so this was the first tray that I planted, and here we have, this is all Columbine, asparagus. All of this is asparagus, including this one in the front. In behind that is lemongrass. Then we have the mint, and of course the one in the back, that was the one that I'm going to be putting in the freezer. That was the lavender. And then this is the geraniums that I had to have on with the heat mat, and I have them covered in darkness. All I did was put these covers over it, put some painter's tape over the holes to block out the light. I do have a heat mat underneath here as well. Beside them, here I have, these ones are just under lights, no heat mat, lemon balm, rosemary, thyme, foxglove, leeks, celery, dahlias, and then the new one, the shallots in here. Okay, so here I've got my lavender in a plastic bag, and I'm just going to put it in the door of my freezer that I have a fridge out in our garage. I got lots of room in there, and we'll put that in there for 2 to 7 days. So I've planted those seeds. That's all I'm doing for this week. That's actually quite a few. It is the middle of February. We'll wait until things start to sprout because I did all those onions from before as well. And once I see something sprouting, I also started the artichoke seeds. So I have quite a few onions started, artichoke seeds, and then now I have these vegetables and herbs that I brought you along to show you about doing those too, and some of the different implements that I've had to do to have a better success rate for my seeds to come out on the better side instead of non-existent. So we'll see how it goes along, and I'll bring you along the next time when everything starts sprouting, and I'll let you know how long that some of those seeds took, or where we're at with some of the other seeds as well. So thanks for joining me. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to hit that subscribe button. But thanks for joining me. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.